So final thoughts here before we wrap up. Once your render is done, you just need to save it. Okay, so you can actually save this Maxwell Studio file. I've just actually never done it, but because all I really do is just go up to this image output here. Whoops, not load image, save image, and then you can save it wherever you need to save it. So you guys should probably understand a little bit about file formats as well. JPEG is one of your least robust and simple forms of file types. So all that's going to have when you export it as a JPEG is basically the pixels that make up the image, unless you build in some other things. But some of the more complex ones that you could use, and I don't use Targa very much, but it is a more complex file type, and it does have things like RGBs and alpha channels if you set it to have them. But the most common ones you're going to see are JPEGs, PNGs, and TIFF files. TIFF files are going to be one of your largest file types, and that's going to have all of your RGB channels and alpha channels. Whatever you set to export here, that's what you'll have there. And the PNG files they're really good for like transparency. So if you're doing a logo, right, and you don't want the white background to go around it, you use a PNG format because it borrows the translucency and embeds that into the file. The other ones do too, but they do it through channels. Okay, except for JPEG. JPEG doesn't typically. For most purposes, I'll just use PNGs, just because I'm lazy like that. And I don't like giant file types in case I have to transfer them certain places, and we don't really use translucencies very much. But in some cases, we will use a TIFF file in order to be able to cut out like backgrounds and stuff like that and put in new skies. But for our purposes here, for this assignment, and probably not even for our final, we're not going to worry about that, because this isn't a rendering course. I want you guys to focus on rapid prototyping, communicate the architecture, develop the definition, understand, how to communicate in a rapid format. So that stuff, you'll learn that in 221 if you take that with me, or took it with me. Okay? All right. So yeah, just save that wherever you want to save it.